Iya, Dewi.
Ya, oke dah ya.
Oke.
Mulai ya. Selamat malam teman-teman semua, teman sepraktisi sedharma. Tem- Selamat bergabung kembali bersama kita Komunitas Chan Indonesia dalam berlatih dan berlatih meditasi dan belajar Dharma bersama. Seperti biasanya, kita akan memulai sesi meditasi kita dengan menyelaraskan tubuh, nafas, dan batin kita melalui Eight Form Moving Meditation, yaitu meditasi gerak berkesadaran. Setelah tubuh, nafas, dan batin telah diselaraskan, kita selanjutnya memasuki sesi meditasi duduk untuk 30 menit ke depan. Setelah itu kita akan keluar dari meditasi duduk dan mengakhirinya dengan melakukan body massage berkesadaran. Kemudian baru itu kita akan sama-sama mengundang guru kita, Koyen Shifu dari Dharma Mountain Retreat Center USA untuk belajar Dharma bersama. Without further ado, kita langsung saja eh, latihannya. Selamat berlatih. Namo Buddhaya.
Good day, everyone. We will begin with the exercise. When we do the exercise, remember always use our body as a grounding place and fully aware of the movements of the body, the sensation of the body. When we are aware of the movement of the body, is to aware of the main part first and then continue on to the entire body. So we will begin with the warm-up exercise. First of all, stand with feet apart, and the width of the feet is the same with the width of our shoulders, and our feet are parallel. The first one is to swing your arms left and right wide, turn your body left and right. One hand will tap on the shoulder, and the other hand will tap on the back. Fully aware of the movements of the waist, the movements of our arms and palms, and aware of the movements of the entire body. Relax the entire body, aware of the sensations of the body. If you're thinking of something else, aware of it and return to your body. Your body is a grounding place. Enjoy the time that you're here and now. Gently come to a pause, feet together, join your palms. Next is the waist movement. Stand with feet apart, parallel and shoulder width. Hold your palms to your waist, bend your waist to the left, front, right, and back. Rotate your waist 360 degrees. Fully aware of the movements of the waist that guiding the entire body. Reverse direction to your right, front, left, back. Your movements are very smooth, gentle, relaxed. Enjoy your movements right there. Return to the upright position. Join your palms, feet together. Next is to swing your arms back and forth while bend your knees up and down. Stand with feet apart, parallel and shoulder width. Aware of the movements of your arms. While swing your arms, try so that your arm is not higher than the shoulder. Gently come to a pause, feet together, join your palms. Next is knees movements. Place your palms to your thighs and bend your knees starting from the left, down, right and up. When bending down a little bit, your upper body will also slightly bend down. Reverse direction. Return to the upright position. Next is extend left and right. Stand so that your feet forming a V and join your palms. Step to the left. Extend your arms. Your head also turn to the direction of the left. Now, first of all, the knees that in the front should not be over the tips of your toes. The second thing is that the two arms are in the same level, not that one is higher than the other. Return. Right. Return. Left. Return. Right. Return. Left. Return. Right. Return. Join your palms. Bow. So we are ready for meditation. You loosen everything that is tight in your body, and then sit on the cushion. Start with joining your palms. Place your palms, place your awareness to the tips of the middle fingers. Place your palms to your knees. Now we will do the head movements, starting from the left, front, right, back. Again. And again. Reverse direction. Right, front, left, back. Again. And again. Return your head to the upright position. Now do the 3 deep breathings. Make your palms like this and place your palms to the abdomen. The navel will be in the center of the oval shape. Breathe in to your nostrils. Bend your body down. Breathe out to your mouth. Up, breathe in. Down, breathe out. Up, breathe in. Down, breathe out. And up. Readjust posture. Sit correctly. Now check the entire body. Make sure that all the muscles are loosened. Once your muscles are loosened, then you use the scanning method. When scanned, then you're just aware of that part. Whatever that sensation are, just notice or just aware, that's enough. Start with your hair, where they in contact with the skin of your skull, aware of that part. Your forehead, aware of the sensation of the skin of your forehead. Your eyes, your cheeks, your nose, your mouth and your chin. And then to your neck, the skin, the muscles of your neck. Shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, your palms, fingers, your chest, the skin, the muscles of your chest. Your stomach, your back, the waist area, your buttocks, the touching feeling of the buttocks to the cushion. Put all your weight down to the cushion. Your thighs, your calves, your feet, return to the entire head, your upper body, your lower body, then the entire body that's sitting here. You're calmer and calmer. You may observe your breath. Just observe to see how it works. And then, very naturally, you will follow your breath. to your nostrils. In and out. If you feel that you want to use the counting method, then go ahead. Count your breath from 1 to 10. If you have the method that you're most familiar with, then just use it. Don't mind your wandering thoughts. They come and go by themselves. All you need to do is don't follow them. You are working on your method right now. Stay with a clear mind. And of course, you already relaxed the entire body. Also relax your mind. Just pick up your method again and again. Please continue. When you hear the sound of the chime, tell yourself to come out of meditation. Take 3 deep breaths. Move your fingers. Slightly move your body. Gently join your palms. Place your palms to your knees and rotate your body from small circles to bigger circles. Reverse direction. And massage. Rub the back of your thumb so heat is created. And then press your eye sockets inward to outward. Then rub your palms. Heat is created. Put to your eyes. Release. Again. Rub your palms and wash your face gently. Below, inward, up and outward. And then place your palms like this. Right hand to the left temple, left hand to the right temple. And massage your head and the back of your head. And then massage your entire head. And then press the neck like this. Release and press again. Release, press, release. And then place your palm to the back of your head and slide down to your neck. And then your ears, squeeze from the edge and inward. And use your index finger to press here, this middle part of your ear. Slightly press and then step it out. And then use your finger to rub the shoulders, the muscles of the left shoulder, and rub the shoulder joint. And squeeze the muscles of the upper arm, all the muscles. Rub the elbow. And then also inward. And then they squeeze the muscles of the lower arm. And then press this point where the thumb and the index finger meet here of your palm. On the other side, the right shoulder muscles, squeeze, rub the joint, squeeze the muscles of the upper arm, elbow, inward, lower arm, and this point. Your chest, one direction first, reverse direction, and then the armpits slide down to the abdomen. The stomach, one hand on top, one hand on the other. Just do one direction. Start from the left, down, right, up. Do it slowly. Just one direction. Now in the back, you grab the back where it's hard to reach. With the two hands. Then use your knuckles of the fingers here to press the shoulder blade on the side, and then the other side. Then use the knuckles of the fist to press along the two sides of the spine. Then use the back of your palms, rub, crisscross like this. Then use your palm to rub the lower back up and down like this. Then now is your left thigh. Squeeze the muscles. The knee. And the calf. Now you find the
the shin bone, and then the left side of the shin bone. Use your left hand, place to your knee, and then the ring finger will point to the middle finger will point to the shin bone, and then the ring finger, below, two fingers below. You find that groove, and you press, and you press, and you press, and then you press down. Finish with the left, now it's the right. Squeeze the muscles of your thigh. And then the knee. And then the calf. Squeeze the muscles of the calf. And find the right side, the right groove, the shin bone. Press, 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 and press down. Okay, now is the feet. Stretch the feet toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you, toward you, away from you. Rotate your feet. One direction first. Reverse direction. And then your toes, grab your toes, reverse, grab your toe, reverse, grab your toes, reverse, grab your toes, reverse, relax, and finish.
Sekarang telah tiba saatnya kita memasuki sesi Dharma teaching yang akan diberikan oleh Koyin Shifu. Saya persilahkan teman-teman semua silahkan buka videonya. Mari kita bersikap anjali dan memberikan, apakah kita harus nunggu Koyin Shifu buka video dulu ya? Ya, bentar ya. Thank you Ko Aki udah ikut meramaikan kelasnya. Kita tunggu sebentar lah ya.
I'm having
Koyin
some
Shifu.
trouble with the image now.
Oh, Koyin Shifu, would you like to open your video?
Yeah, I'm having trouble now.
Oh, okay.
Somehow it didn't work.
Maybe Sifu can try to log out and then come back in again.
Yeah, let me try it, leave in and come back.
Yeah.
Oh, now it's okay.
Oh, okay. Jadi mari teman-teman kita bersikap anjali, memberikan let's bow to Koyin Sifu, bow. Omitofo, Koyin Sifu.
Yeah,
Nice to
okay.
see you back. Let me pin Sifu first.
So, good day, everyone. Today is Thursday, February 5th, 2026. We continue on talking about Platform Sutra in the chapter of Samadhi and Wisdom. Last time we ended on this the passage saying, similarly, every person has a time of birth. Each one of us is nurtured in the womb for about 10 months. That is gradual. Whether the birth is early, on time, or late. Yet, the moment of birth itself takes only a short time, and that it's sudden. And the talk ended on January 29, 2026. Now we continue. When one sees one's own nature, there is no difference. So, at the moment of awakening, one recognizes one's own mind and realizes the original mind. This original mind is not the deluded mind, nor the afflicted mind. When one awakens, one directly knows that the afflicted mind is not the true mind, and that the true mind is inherently I'm sorry. Let me repeat. And that the true mind is inherently pure, utterly free from vexations. Where there are vexations, there is deluded mind, or you say illusory mind. Because of attachment, vexations arise. Because of vexations, we lose our freedom. Now, this is important to know. Because attached, so vexations. And because of vexations, we lose our freedom. This is what it means to be trapped in illusory mental activity. And this is delusion. When we are no longer enticed, disturbed, or bound by deluded and afflicted thoughts, this is called awakening. At the moment of awakening,
we realize that vexations and illusions are not real in themselves. They arise due to influences from external conditions and environment. At that time, we directly know that our original mind is pure, and naturally, we also see our true nature. True nature is called emptiness. The original mind is the pure mind, and the pure mind is wisdom, free from vexation. Emptiness means no attachment, no subject, and no object. When there are no self and no object, what remains to cause suffering, right? Therefore, those who have seen the true nature must be people of wisdom. Mind and nature correspond to each other, mutually conditioning and supporting one another. When awakening, there's no longer any sense of difference, no high or low, more or less, long or short, good or bad, beautiful or ugly. All such comparative and dualistic thinking disappears. Now, the mind has two components. What ordinary deluded people perceive is one component. Those who have awakened perceive another. The first component is what deluded beings experience as the mind. We call it the deluded mind, the afflicted mind, the mind of birth and death. It has many names. It is the mental activity that governs our psychological processes and leads us from one life to another, from today to tomorrow. We go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning still as me. We travel from the east to the west and to other countries and still feel that I remain the same. This I is what we call the deluded mind, the mental activity, mental recognition, and mental attachment. Why is it called deluded thinking? Well, suppose one thinks about money and obtains it, having both cash in one's pocket and savings in the bank. Does this still count as deluded thinking? Ordinary people often believe that only thoughts that fail to materialize, mere fantasies, should be called delusion. But this is not correct. Any mental movement, whether it becomes reality It's called diluted thinking. Well, in 1975 and Vietnam, the changing of the government from a free country to a communist country. And then the old currency instantly lost its value. A large bundle of old bills was suddenly worth almost nothing, even though it had once been very useful and valuable. Because the monetary system changed, the old currency became worthless. Therefore, the money we think about is not necessarily real. Even the money in the bank and the cash in our pockets, are they truly real? They are nothing more than paper. Now, this paper is called money, but tomorrow it may no longer be valuable. Even gold is not necessarily real. If in the world food became extremely scarce and even water was in short supply, would gold be able to buy anything? It would not. In such conditions, gold itself would lose its value. Thus, even gold is not truly real. What is considered real or unreal depends entirely on conditions, on abundance or scarcity, usefulness or uselessness, and these constantly change. Since there is no fixed value, such things are ultimately illusory. Then we have an example. Even marriage is also not truly real. There was a Western disciple in the United States who brought his wife to see Shigong after they got married. With great joy, he kept introducing her. This is my wife. This is my wife. Of course, Shigong congratulated him. But 2 years later, he came alone, and Shigong asked, "Where is your wife?" He replied, "We are divorced." Shigong said, "2 years ago, wasn't she your wife?" He answered, "After divorce, she is no longer my wife." So then you should understand, 2 years later, she was no longer his wife. So was she truly his wife before? At marriage, she was his wife. After divorce, she was no longer. Now consider, if a couple never divorces and grows old together, is that truly permanent? When old age comes, one person will eventually be placed in the coffin first, and then the other later. At that point, are they still husband and wife? They are called the surviving spouse, or the late husband, or the late wife, or the bereaved spouse. So even then, it is not truly permanent. Therefore, marriage too is not truly real. There's another example. A person, a Chinese woman living in America, first married an American man. She was very happy. When they had a child, she was even happier. But after 5 years, her husband had an affair and abandoned her. Eventually, they divorced. In deep pain, she brought her 5-year-old son to see Shigong. While crying, she tried to console herself, saying, "Shifu, now I have nothing left. At least I still have my son. It's unfortunate that I no longer have a husband, but at least I still have my child. He is my lifeline, my treasure, my own flesh and blood. Having a son is enough." She regarded her son as something truly real. So, was the son real or not? At that time, of course, Shigong could not pour cold water on her grief. So Shigong comforted her, saying, "From now on, you and your son should depend on each other. Raise him well." 11 years later, when her son was 16, she came alone to see Shigong. She said, "Shifu, raising a child is truly meaningless. Once my son entered high school, he no longer came home. He lives in the dormitory of the school. Now he only comes back twice a year during vacations. Half the vacation is spent with his father, half with me." This mother was truly pitiful. The father had remarried, but she remained alone, struggling by herself. So Shigong said to her, "You have been living in delusion. From now on, you must live in reality. Practice sincerely with me. Meditate, listen to Dharma, and understand what is false and what is true. Your husband and your son are both unreliable. In the past, you thought your husband was real and your son was real, but in fact, they are both illusory. They were merely things your mind clung to as dependable. Yet in the end, none of them proved reliable. What then is truly reliable? Come study the Dharma's teaching. Come listen to Dharma. Come practice. When the Dharma tells you that everything is illusory, that is the true reality. Do you understand? But this woman did not fully grasp Shigong's meaning. She said, "Shifu, I understand now. No one is reliable. I can only rely on myself. Before, I relied on my husband. Later, I wanted to rely on my son. Now, I will rely on no one. Only take good care of myself. That is the most reliable. So, what do you think? Does that sound reliable? As a result, she devoted herself to caring for her own body. But her mind had nowhere to rest. Now, this point here, we see that her mind had nowhere to rest. The more she tried to take care of her body, the worse her health became. The more she hoped to become healthy, the more her health declined. So think, can your body truly be relied upon? You wish for healthy, you wish for health, yet cannot guarantee health. Many people have experienced this. Even one's own body cannot be relied upon. And if you cannot rely on yourself and cannot rely on others, then who can you rely on? It makes us understand that in this world, there is nothing that can truly be relied upon. And yet, precisely because nothing can be relied upon, that is what is truly reliable. Why? Because once you truly understand that nothing is reliable, you fully accept that reality. You recognize all attachments as illusion. That realization itself is absolutely true because it does not change. Once you accept the truth of unreliability, your vexations naturally decrease. So, what is awakening? Awakening means realizing that all phenomena are illusory, that all thoughts are illusory, and that all worldly affairs are unreliable. This realization is awakening. When you know everything is unreliable, you stop calculating, stop expecting, stop contending with others, and stop fighting with yourself. At that moment, you become truly free and at ease. This is great wisdom. And Shigong once had a follower whose family ran a tofu shop. Their tofu was excellent, and the business prospered, even expanding into a chain store. He had 3 sons and hoped that at least one of them would inherit the business, but none of them wanted to do it. He was furious and said, "Strange, how is it that none of my sons want to make tofu?" Then Shigong said, "This is what you want to do, not what your sons want to do. Your sons are your sons. You are you. They have their own aspirations, and you have yours. You cannot demand that they be the same as you. And he replied, that having sons is useless. Therefore, human beings live within delusive thinking. Everything we see, perceive, think about, and encounter, none of it is truly real. All is illusory, constantly changing, and never permanently reliable. For this reason, it is called delusive thoughts. However, do not misunderstand this to mean that since good deeds are also illusory, there is no need to do them, or that since bad deeds are illusory, it does not matter if you commit them. If one were to think this way, serious confusion would arise. If we commit harmful actions, we will receive painful consequences, even though the consequences are ultimately illusory. The suffering we experience is very real. When we are in pain, that pain is truly painful. When we fall ill, the suffering of illness is real. When disasters strike, the suffering is also real. Yet, even these disasters are illusory in nature. If instead we reverse our perspective, avoiding harmful actions, doing good deeds as much as possible, and regarding whatever consequences we experience as impermanent and illusory, then our lives become joyful and peaceful. We become compassionate toward others and wise toward ourselves. Compassionate toward others, wise toward ourselves. This is what is called a pure mind, not a deluded mind. Then we look at the word nature. What does nature mean? Now, humans have human nature. Animals have animal nature. Water has the nature of wetness. Fire has the nature of warmth. Earth has the nature of solidity. We can point out that all internal and external phenomena possess their own characteristics and qualities. You have your temperament, I have mine. People often say, mountains and rivers may change, but one's nature is hard to alter, implying that personality and disposition are fixed and unchangeable. This appears to suggest a permanent nature. In reality, water can change, alter its conditions, and its nature changes accordingly. Fire is warm, but if different conditions arise, fire disappears. And the 5 elements, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth, mutually generate and restrain one another. Metal restrains wood. Water restrains fire. Fire restrains metal. Wood restrains earth. This dynamic interaction itself demonstrates constant transformation. Therefore, nothing possesses a fixed, unchanging nature. For this reason, we say that the characteristics of all worldly phenomena are illusory, temporary, conditional, and not eternal real. Buddhism especially emphasizes that all phenomena, including human beings and all sentient life, lack any absolute and permanent nature. If sentient beings truly had fixed nature, everything would be hopeless. Thieves would always remain thieves. Carpenters would always remain carpenters. Emperors would remain emperors forever. President would never step down. And sentient beings could never become bodhisattvas or Buddhas. Why? Because sentient beings would possess a fixed sentient being nature, while Buddhas would possess a fixed Buddha nature. But Buddhism teaches that all dharmas are without fixed nature. That is, all phenomena lack any permanent, unchanging essence. Because conditions change, qualities change. Thus, what is bad can become good, and what is good can degenerate. Everything depends on how we shape conditions, cultivating wholesome causes and avoiding unwholesome ones. By doing so, favorable outcomes arise, and all beings can ultimately become Buddhas. There is only one thing that does not change. We name it emptiness. The counterpart of illusion is emptiness. Emptiness means that whenever causes and conditions change, the nature of phenomena also changes. Therefore, there are only temporary phenomena, not eternal ones. This is called emptiness nature. This unchanging principle itself is called original nature. Original nature is precisely Buddha nature. Buddha nature means awakening and seeing one's nature. What nature is seen? One sees Buddha nature, and Buddha nature is emptiness nature. And this is clearly taught in the platform Sutra. Therefore, the terms sudden and gradual are established provisionally. Why? because they are delusion and awakening, dullness and sharpness. People's experiences of Dharma naturally appear as sudden or gradual. Yet, sudden and gradual are themselves not ultimately real. The Dharma itself has no inherent distinction between sudden and gradual. Because sentient beings differ in experience, understanding, receptivity, speed, and timing, these provisional terms are introduced. They are merely provisional names, not ultimate realities. But without such provisional labels, sentient beings would find it difficult to understand and distinguish the teachings. Well, let's talk about Chan. How is Chan method of sudden and awakening applying in our daily life? In Chinese Chan Buddhism, Chan represents wisdom, that is, freedom from self-centeredness. Only when self-centeredness dissolves does true wisdom arise. Chan is wisdom. Chan is freedom. Therefore, Chan can be applied directly to everyday life, allowing one to live dynamically, vividly, and fully. When self-centeredness exists, even if one possesses wisdom, that wisdom is subjective and therefore not truly objective. Once subjectivity arises, conflicts of interest inevitably follow. Hence, we may say that Chan is a form of absolute objectivity. The purpose and function of Buddhism is the pursuit and development of wisdom. Thus, all scriptures and methods of cultivation ultimately aim at awakening wisdom. And Chan is a path of sudden awakening. The dissolution of self-centeredness requires cultivation and may proceed in two ways. The first begins with meditative concentration. The second requires no formal cultivation, but directly shatters delusive thinking and self-centeredness. The first approach is commonly practiced and is called gradual awakening. The second is difficult to accomplish and is known as sudden awakening. Gradual awakening resembles slowly wiping dust from a mirror, little by little, until it becomes perfectly clean. So clean that one no longer even perceives the mirror itself. When reflections appears, forms are visible, yet one no longer notices the mirror. In the same, in some restaurants, mirrors line 3 walls, making a small space appear vast and deep. By polishing the mirror, clarity emerges. Likewise, gradual cultivation slowly dissolves self-centered tendencies through meditative discipline until these tendencies naturally vanish. Yet sudden awakening is like shattering a mirror with a stone. Sudden awakening, however, is even more powerful. Instead of wiping the dust mirror, one smashes it with a big stone, or even demolishes completely. Once the mirror is gone, visions become limitless, open, vast, and unobstructed. There's no need for further polishing, for the mirror has entirely disappeared. Thus, the wisdom realized through sudden awakening is profound, powerful, and far-reaching. In terms of meditative methods, this is called Chan contemplation. There are many such methods, which we cannot fully introduce here. The simplest Chan approach is known as the Chan opportunity or investigate Chan. Teachers use Chan opportunity to guide students, and practitioners use it themselves to investigate in meditation. When Chan principles are applied to problem, provided one's understanding is correct and principles are clear, they can benefit both oneself and others. By principles, we mean not necessarily answering questions directly, but rather guiding those with difficulties to face their own problems, or even allowing them to let go of the problems entirely. Well, there's a saying from a teacher is that if it can be solved, solve it. If not, let it go. So how should we face problem? Simply remind ourselves every event and every phenomenon arises from causes and conditions. There is no need to pursue the causes, nor do we usually have the time to analyze them. The most direct and essential thing is to face the situation and improve it. If even after facing it, the problem still cannot be solved, or if there is no possible way to resolve it, then simply let it go. Eventually, it will fade away. What cannot be solved will naturally dissolve. For this reason, Chan Master, when guiding the disciples and responding to their question, often reply in unexpected ways, give no direct answer at all, or even use physical action to assist them. So I will stop here at this moment.
Thank you, Shifu, for the Dharma teaching. Now we have 14 minutes. Should we proceed for the breakout? Shifu,
Sure.
Si Chen can help us break out the room. Thank you. Selamat bergabung kembali teman-teman semua. Does anybody have? Now we have reached a session of Q&A. Does anybody have question to ask Shifu or to discuss about? Nggak ada? Jika nggak ada, kita end the session. Shifu, no question. Should we end the session, Shifu? Shifu kena mute ya? Is Shifu mute? Oh ya.
Okay.
Okay. Si Shelton can help for the translate. Many thank you.
Please join your palms. We pray for the flourishing of Buddha Dharma, for peace in the world, for the joy and contentment of all people, for the freedom and ease of body and mind. May sentient being depart from suffering. May the vows of the Dharma be fulfilled. 回向佛法兴隆，世界和平，人民安乐，身心自在，众生离苦，施主愿遂。Bow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Devi. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Shifu. Thank you, si Shelton dan semuanya. Dan si Shelton boleh kasih view yang banyak orang, jadi Shifu bisa nampak kita semua ya. View
Ini ada view.
begini ya. Gini.
Cara review. Udah cara review di tempat saya.
Udah. Ambil foto. Say cheese. Take picture, Shifu.
What?
Let's take picture. Yay.
Hello.
Please take care, Shifu.
Okay, once in a while you take pictures. Good. Then
Yeah,
have
we
some record.
Yes. We post it in our IG stories, Shifu.
What is it?
Instagram. So like for promotion, we have Zoom
Oh.
online class.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay,
Please take care, Shifu.
everyone. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Terima
Shifu.
kasih teman-teman
Thank you,
semua.
Shifu. Terima kasih.
Shifu. Stay
Terima
warm.
kasih Ko Agus, Cinini, si Sawan, Ko
Masih.
Akin, Cinovi, si Sumi,
Sama-sama.
Ko Tony. Ih, Ko
Okay, thank
Tony.
you.
Ko Tony tumben masuk.
Tumben,
Cilita.
Yauchan, tumben aku
Isi.
nggak di breakout room 1, tumben.
Iya loh. Habis dikomplain minggu lalu.
Jadi komplain. Jadi masukin si Dewi sama Pak Akin.
Oke,
Aku
terima
bilang
kasih
si
semua.
Seljen takut dikutuk.
Selamat malam, selamat beristirahat. Om
Yo.
Oh, bye.
Bye-bye.